I want to welcome you to a tour of our integrated preschool class for children with autism here at the Bodwin Preschool. This class is different than our other 14 classes because this class is our only integrated classroom. We currently have 10 children who are here through a contract with the Broward County Schools who have an eligibility of autism. And then we have 6 children who are here through the voluntary pre-kindergarten program in Florida, which is our 4-year-old program for children who are getting ready to go to kindergarten. Those children have not been screened and are assumed to be typically developing, and they're here for the morning half of the day only. As with our other classrooms, when you walk into the classroom, the first thing you'll see is a bulletin board that provides any visitor with some basic information about what is going on in the classroom. We have our daily schedule that allows visitors to know what is taking place. We have our staff zoning plan, which allows the teacher, and in this case her one teacher assistant, to organize the children in terms of activities and which staff is responsible for what children and what parts of the room, what responsibilities or duties do they have throughout the day. So our zoning plan is here, and then this teacher has some information about the schedule and the bus list and what they do on rainy days so that visitors have that information too. You can also notice that on the floor coming from the doorway are shape markers so that these 16 children are able to line up on the shapes, maintain an appropriate amount of distance between each other, and begin to learn the school readiness skill of lining up. Here we have one of our whole classroom areas, and this classroom is furnished a little differently than some of our others. This is set up to handle 18 children, 6 children at each table, and because these children are our higher functioning children in terms of language and independent functioning and social skills, we use these kinds of tables so that the children are focused on each other instead of being focused on an instructional staff person. You can still see the same types of visual supports that you see in some of our other classrooms. So for example, we have a full day picture schedule here that the teacher refers to at several periods throughout the day so that the children are able to keep track of what they've completed as well as what's going to be coming next until they work through the whole day. So here we have our task strip for hand washing, and even though the children are independent in terms of many of their skills, this visual support gives them a reference so when they forget a step, they can look at it and know what they're supposed to do next when they're washing their hands. We have a variety of visual supports here in this area. Some of these are language expansion boards like this for some of the activities that go along in this area. One of which is art, sometimes takes place in this area. We've got some behavioral visual support, such as this one, which is raise hand and sit quietly. And of course what you'll see is that all of the areas of the classroom have a marker that describes what happens in this area, what are the goals in this area. So this large area of the room is the area where we have snack and lunch, where we have art activities, and where the children come in the morning for some kind of fine motor, table tasks, or journal writing experience. Over here you can see the way this teacher has organized. She's got her day books or journals for the children. And one of the things that is different for this class is that you will see worksheets, because this is our group of students that we are quite confident will be going to regular education kindergarten classes. And so we teach to the next environment, and we know that in kindergarten classes, Children are expected to be able to complete worksheets, and so we give them that practice and experience here while they're still preschoolers. Our next area here is also a dual use area. It's used for pre-writing, and you see the sign for the center here. It's also used for mathematics. So two different types of instruction go on here. You can see that using the furniture, it directs the children's attention to the teacher. So this is an area, unlike the area we just were in, where the teacher is going to be directing the instruction, directing the activity, and the children are going to be seated around the wide side of the kidney-shaped table. And we like kidney-shaped tables when we have a group who are involved in direct instruction with the teacher, because it focuses the children's attention where it needs to be focused. And you can see, as in all of our areas, the materials that are going to be used during this instructional time is behind the teacher, so she has easy access to the materials that she needs, or on the shelf here. This is another area that's used during center rotations, and this is the pretend play area of the classroom. Because these children are higher functioning, and because we have typically developing children in this room, this area is a little bigger than in some of our other classrooms, and children will be spending more time here than they do in some of our other classrooms, because they have the language and thinking and reasoning abilities to be able to understand that there is something called make-believe, that they can pretend to be taking on other roles. So they can be doing the house cleaning, they can be preparing meals, they can be dressing up and assuming the roles that those hats send them messages about. We also have some visual supports here for the students that need them. So some visual directions about how to set the table, and a language expansion board for dollhouse play. So even though these children are more competent in terms of their language and communication skills, some of them still need and do much better when they have the language boards to support and facilitate their expressive language. One of the other items that is placed in this area is the token boards that the children use to earn happy faces, and when they earn 5 of their happy faces or thumbs up, they have the opportunity to go to the treasure chest. And in that way, they're being reinforced and able to pick something that they like from that treasure box. These students all have enough self-control that when they pick their item from the treasure box, the next part of their routine is to put it into their backpack to take it home. They know that they're not supposed to be playing with that item right there, and going to the treasure box seems to be enough of a reinforcer for them, or a reward for them, to let them know that they've done a good job. Again, this room is organized